As you probably know, the most grievous oversight in this year's Oscar nominations is the fact that Christopher Nolan, helmsman of Inception, the best film of the year, has not been nominated for Best Director for reasons which frankly fail me. However, the good news is that his longtime cinematographer Wally Pfister has been nominated. And this is great because Wally Pfister is something of a hero for me, not just because he's the guy who made movies like The Dark Knight look so good, not just because he's the man who said 3D, it's just a fad, but because Wally Pfister is living, breathing proof of the trickle-up effect of exploitation cinema. See, a lot of critics think of exploitation movies, horror movies, action movies, sex movies as somehow unworthy of consideration. Yet if it wasn't for those films, we wouldn't have some of the great mainstream cinema about which they all go on. Roger Corman famously said the best way to encourage young filmmakers was to get somebody who wanted to be Antonioni and get them to work on Carnosaur 2, because that way they would learn their trade. That's why Roger Corman brought on great directors like Martin Scorsese or Francis Ford Coppola or James Cameron, all of whom learnt their trade working for him. And Wally Pfister is exactly the same. See, nowadays, Wally Pfister shoots some of the most expensive and best-looking movies in the world. Yet I was first aware of Wally Pfister in the late 80s and early 90s when he was shooting straight-to-video erotic thrillers for Greg Dark, a.k.a. Alexander Gregory Hippolyte. Having first made his name making hardcore movies, Greg Dark spied a gap in the market to make films that you could get into blockbuster video, R-rated movies that, yes, contained sex, but also had plots and scripts and acting and, crucially, films which looked classy, films which looked adventurous, films which, frankly, looked really good. That's where Wally Pfister came in. He really knew how to light a shot, but he also knew how to work fast and cheap. Everything he made looked spectacular, and very soon it got recognised by bigger Hollywood directors. The next thing you know, he was shooting proper feature films. The rest is history. Now he's Chris Nolan's right-hand man and is currently shooting the multi-million-dollar new Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises. Think about it. It's an extraordinary journey from secret games to a series of films about a man prowling darkened streets dressed from head to foot in rubber. Actually,